Her husband told her he was working late every Thursday. Same excuse, same story every single week. He said he was going to meet a client. So for 3 straight months, he told her this story. And when she finally decided to check, she discovered that he wasn't even in the same city.
Oh, no.
So, yeah. So this is my name is Patrick Hinchy. They call me the Spyware Tycoon. And, we help people find out the truth. So this is a story how one woman used her phone to uncover her husband's double life. And it's quite an interesting story here. So anyway, all right. So, welcome back. If you guys are new here, this is a show where we break down the stories of people who needed to find out the truth and used certain services that are available to them to do, like GPS tracking services and cell phone spy things and things like that. And, these things really help people find out the truth. So with me today is my partner, Monica. Monica is also my wife.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, so today's story, I've been sitting on this one for a while because it hit me today because it's so normal. And like this could happen in any marriage. It could be anybody at any time.
Yeah, that's the scariest part.
Exactly. There's no dramatic flags at first. It's just like normal life that all of a sudden comes off track. And there's no lipstick on the collar, just a feeling of, a certain pattern that just doesn't add up.
Yeah, that's awful.
And so
give it to us. Let's hear it.
Yeah, so all right, let's get into it. So for privacy, we're going to call her Sarah. Obviously, that's not her real name. But everything else is exactly as it happened, or as well as I remember the story, which was told me just only a few days ago. So Sarah's been married for 12 years, 2 kids. They're 8 and 11. They live in the suburbs. They have a nice little life, like most people do. So outside, I think it was Charlotte, North Carolina, if I remember correctly, her husband, we'll call him David. He works in commercial real estate or it's commercial real estate or commercial construction. I forget, which, by the way, very, very high rate of cheating.
Yeah, I hear that.
In real estate and construction, extremely high rate. Now, I'm not saying every construction guy cheats, but very, very high rate of cheating in that industry. So, again, normal job, decent money, nothing flashy, nice, quiet life. So, anyway, now, so around January of this year, David starts working late on Thursdays. And he tells Sarah it's a new client. It's a big deal. Lots of paperwork. She doesn't question it because he's always been honest.
That's the normal thing wives do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Or any partner, for that matter.
Yeah, of course. He's always done this. He's never lied, never done anything. So she doesn't really think anything of it. He's always been a hard worker. And, so why would she think anything of it now?
Right.
Right? That's just not unusual. Not at all. But then about 3 weeks in, she notices something. He comes home on Thursday nights and he just jumps right into the shower. Now, this is not something he had normally done before.
Okay.
Before, he used to come home on a Thursday night, say hi to the kids, maybe grab a beer, something to eat, and then he would go into the shower after he gives his wife a kiss hello. Now, it's like, okay, a couple of months into this, now all of a sudden he's in the door and in the shower before you can blink an eye. And and then he comes out of the shower and then he acts normal.
Right. He broke the pattern.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And this is what I tell people to look for, is the pattern. So he'd usually come home, and as I said, he put his bag down, grab a beer, and do something like that. But now, he hits the shower every Thursday. So yeah, that's the shift. So she files it away, like anybody would. Doesn't say anything, but she starts watching. And the next Thursday, the same thing. He comes in the door at 9:30, straight to the shower. And this time, while she's in the shower, she goes to check his phone.
Good. She went for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
So she tried, but, here's another dead giveaway. He changed the password. The password used to be their anniversary. So she picks up the phone, hits the password, and now it's been changed.
Oh,
so
no.
She tries a few combinations, but nothing works.
That's another red flag.
That
right
is
there.
a huge red flag.
Yes.
If you're in a marriage and your spouse changes their password without telling you, yeah, huge, huge red flag. So, and then, she tried, but he had, he changed his passcode, but red flag number 2. So red flag number 1 is taking a shower as soon as you walk in the door. Red flag number 2 is now the password. So And I have to give this woman credit. You know, she maintained her cool and she doesn't confront him, which is the absolute best thing to do.
Absolutely.
Because guess what? If you confront him, what do you think he's going to do?
Accused her of being everything but honest.
Right. First and foremost, right. But now also what he's going to do is he's going to start hiding his tracks or covering his
Oh,
tracks
right,
a
right,
hell
right.
of a lot better,
Yes.
which is going to make Sarah's job much more difficult. So I give this woman a lot of credit
Yes.
because I'm not so sure that I'd be able to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, no, I don't think I could either. But she's
You
being
definitely could.
intelligent.
If I started coming home from work every night at Thursday about 9:30 and jumping right into the shower, you'd be in the shower with me and be like, hey, what's going
What
on
are you
here?
doing?
Since when? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, that would not fly. So yeah, she's instead of she just she knows if she says anything, he's just going to get better at hiding it.
Of course. Of
So
course. She's doing the thing the right way.
right, she's gathering intel.
Yes.
Exactly. So she's in investigative mode right now, and so the next week she pays attention to everything, and she notices on Thursday afternoon around 4 p.m. he texts her. Going to be late again tonight, of course, and that's another dead giveaway. People do the texting and they do that check-in phone call,
Right.
and that's a huge red flag for everybody. Anybody who's doing that kind of stuff, especially when they haven't done it in the past. So he said he texted her 4 p.m. Going to be late, working on the Hargrove account, is what he calls it. So she, again, this woman's smart. She Googles Hargrove commercial real estate in Charlotte.
Doesn't exist?
It doesn't exist.
Oh my God.
No LinkedIn profile,
God.
no nothing. That's what I mean. This woman is smart. I mean, this is exactly the way people should go about gathering their information before they confront somebody. So the client doesn't exist, and that's when Sarah knows. And she doesn't have proof yet, but now she has a real suspicion that something's not right. She doesn't have the proof, but she knows. And, so now the question becomes, what does she do about it? How is she going to get the proof? How is she going to, get the rock solid proof that she needs?
She needs to know where he actually is whenever he tells you or hear these stories.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
She needs to know exactly. She needs to know where he actually is.
Yes.
And so he's supposed to be at the Hargrove account, taking care of business, and that's the time at which she needs to find out exactly where he is. And that's when she found instantid.info. She was listening to our show one day. We were talking about instant ID and how you could use it to get the exact location of a phone by using only the telephone number.
Right.
And you can do it without having the phone being anywhere near it. You don't need to install any software to that phone or your phone, and you do it without them knowing. You get that location without them knowing.
That's the perfect
And this
tool.
is the perfect thing
Yes.
for her. That's exactly what she needed. And so, it's a good thing that she was listening to us, So, and she went to Instant ID and used that.
So she used it, and what happened?
Well, first, so using Instant ID is really very, very easy. So she goes to the site and she enters the telephone number that she wants to locate, and within just a few minutes, she gets the approximate location of the phone, and then she's in her dashboard area, and that's when she decides to get the exact location because, as I said, she heard about it on this show. And so she clicks on get the exact location. Now, when that happens, she doesn't see anything, hear anything. It doesn't ring, ding, chime, or anything else like that. Everything happens in the background because with Instant ID, everything is anonymous. They're not going to know you're searching their number. So the system then sends that tracking code to the phone in the background, and then it looks like it signals the phone to release its GPS location and then reports it back to her
Okay.
in her dashboard as a GPS marker on a Google map.
And how accurate will that location be?
It'll be within 20 to 30 feet maximum, usually anywhere between 5 to 30 feet maximum. And so when she does that, because, it reports back to her, and then she sees the exact coordinates on the map. And, of course, this is when she's devastated because now she sees that he's not at Hargrove
He's
Real
lying.
Estate. Yeah, he's not at anything. He's, unfortunately for her, he was at, I think it was a Holiday Inn that was off the interstate, just maybe like 40 or so minutes from their home.
That's so sad.
And so this is when she realizes that obviously he's lying, and now now she really has cause for concern. So people always talk like, this is, invasion of privacy and so on and so forth. But you know what? I personally believe that Sarah has a right to know where her
Absolutely.
husband is. Yeah, I don't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't fault her at all. I mean, a system like this, a tool like this, is meant to find out the truth. It's not meant to stalk anybody or put anybody in any danger.
Right.
It's meant to be used exactly the way Sarah used it. And in my
Right.
opinion, she was well within her rights to do it.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm not talking legally because I'm not a lawyer. I'm not here to give legal advice. But if it were me, I would do the same exact
Yeah,
thing. I
these
wouldn't
people
care.
that complain about privacy, they have
Yeah.
not been cheated on. They don't have any issues at all.
Yeah.
So they can say whatever they want to, but be on Sarah's shoes and, tell me what your opinion is now.
Yeah, that's exactly
Yes.
right. Because more than likely, all people like Sarah, all they really want is just to know the truth.
Yeah, we all been
That's
there.
it. Otherwise, right, exactly. Because if you ask that person, they'll continue to lie until
Yeah.
they're dead.
Yeah.
So it's sad. But so anyway, now let's continue. So Thursday, now the next Thursday rolls around. Now keep in mind, she has all this information.
Right.
He goes to the shower right away. The password has been changed, and now she's already gotten his location. So he can lie about his location, but Instant ID does not.
That's right.
That is exact. He was at a Holiday Inn off the interstate, roughly 40 minutes from their home, and she's, I don't know, maybe an hour or so away from work in the opposite direction. So he was nowhere near where he said he was supposed to be. So now the next Thursday comes along, he leaves for work, and, like normal, kisses the kids. Sarah tells Sarah he'll be late because of the Hargrove meeting again. And she says, okay, have a good day, and,
I'll
doesn't
bet
let
you
anything.
she's been waiting all week for this to
yeah.
happen, so she knows
Oh, yeah.
what's going on.
I got to tell you, I don't know how she kept her mouth shut.
I know. I wouldn't
think
have
I'd
been
be
able to.
Could you imagine if I'm walking out the door and I say, okay, baby, I'll be home late tonight, 9:30, that Hargrove meeting, and you'd be like, you lying son
I
of
know.
a bitch.
When you know inside that that's not truth.
I think
that's
I'd have
awful.
to check for you because you'd probably be throwing something at me at that point. I
Oh,
don't think,
yeah.
I
I'll
don't think
definitely
so.
be spilling my beans right there.
Yep. Yeah, so all week she's been waiting. So 5:45 hits, she sends the tracking link, and then she waits.
So did it pass a long time until he opened it?
No. I mean, she sent the tracking link the week before, and now here she goes. She's going to send it again,
Okay.
just to make sure. So, how long does it take? I think she said it took him 11 minutes to open it.
Okay.
And so he opens it, I think at like 5:56 p.m. And immediately the location pops up on her
And where
map.
is he?
Same place, the
Oh, no.
Holiday Inn again. So again, I got to give it credit to this woman. Once wasn't enough. She wanted to make sure that
Yes.
this thing was working right. And good for her. This way she was able to determine that instantid.info is accurate because it gave the same exact
Yep.
location 2 weeks in a row. When he said he was supposed to be one place, this thing's telling her that she's not. He's at this place. So
That's right.
I guess any electronic device can make a mistake every once in a while, but 2 times in a row,
No.
not going to happen. So
Your
yeah,
husband was lying, but Instant ID is not.
no,
Yes.
no, not twice.
Not twice.
No, this is computerized artificial intelligence. Again, it doesn't even make mistakes for the most part. But I give Sarah a lot of credit because she
Yes.
was able to test this thing, or not test it, use it twice, and it came up consistent. So now, now she knows beyond any reasonable doubt. So anyway, yeah, he's at the Holiday Inn off the interstate, and again, same place, 40-something minutes from work, 40-something minutes from the house, an hour from work in the opposite direction.
So now she knows, she confirmed. What does she do then?
Well, yeah, that's a good question, because so yeah, he's not at the office, he's not in the meeting, he's not with the Hargrove client, he's at a hotel.
Right.
And what does she do? First thing, she screenshots everything. Again, I've got to tell you, this woman is smart. That's the thing that people don't realize. Women are much, much better at this than men. Men, we would probably, I don't know if we'd be so calm and collected, but women are. They're much more, calculating and
Absolutely.
I don't want to say devious. They're just much more clever at it. So anyway, she screenshots everything, the GPS, the address, the timestamp, and she saves it all. She just puts it all on her phone. So this way she has it. Then she just sits there. I remember her telling me she's just sitting there contemplating everything. Like she never thought he would do this. He was never that kind of a guy. So she would just tell me that she sit there at the kitchen table and, about 20 minutes just staring at the screen. And because even though she knew, seeing it was much, much different.
Of course.
There's
It just makes it real.
Yeah, there's a big difference there between suspecting
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yes. Once you see that pin on the map,
Yeah.
forget about it. There is no turning back.
No,
You already know.
Right, you can't deny it anymore.
No.
And until that happens, I guess you could rationalize their behavior and say, well, and you always, of course, you want to hope for the best and say, well, maybe this or maybe that. Hopefully I'm wrong, which is why she used instant ID twice. Again, much to her credit. So I give this one a lot of credit.
So tell me that she didn't go to the hotel. I would have gone. I'll go and knock on the door. Hello?
No, she didn't.
Wow.
She didn't. So listen, this is what she does. The suspicion is maybe the GPS is fact, right? So I think the smartest thing she did is that she didn't drive over there because a lot of people would have. And when you confront somebody when you're emotionally charged like that, nothing good is going to come from it. So she doesn't call him screaming. She doesn't text him or where are you or anything. I know where you are. What are you doing? She doesn't do anything like that.
So she waits for him to come home as any other day?
Yep, she waits for him to come home, and he does, 9:45. Walks in the door, and hey, babe, long night, go straight to the shower. Okay, same routine. As soon as he walks in the shower, as soon as he walks in the door, he goes right to the shower.
Well, the difference this time is that now she has a screenshots of her phone
That's right.
to show him what she found.
That's right.
Yes.
But this woman sat with it even longer. So sitting right there on a camera roll, but she doesn't say anything.
Oh, boy.
And, she doesn't say anything that night. She waits until the next morning. And, the kids go off to school. They're both on the kitchen table with their coffee. And so she slides the phone over to him with
Says
the
nothing.
with the map open.
Uh-huh.
And, so she said, just looked at him and said, who is at the Holiday Inn, David? And
What did he say?
she said he
my
just
God.
went white.
Of course. He
His
was
mouth
very
dropped
surprised.
open. Oh, yeah, he was never expecting it.
How did you know?
Yep, completely pale. Didn't say anything for about 10 seconds. And then he just started to cry. I mean, I guess he was caught dead to rights. He didn't even ask how she found out or if it's reliable, whatever she was using. But,
He couldn't say anything. He couldn't deny what
No.
he was. It was
No.
impossible.
nothing. What's he going to say?
Yeah.
The Hargrove client is based in the Holiday Inn?
Yeah.
Of course.
A client that doesn't exist also.
There's no story that explains where you are from 6 to 9, and then you're taking a shower as soon as you walk in the door. When you told your wife you're at the office
Yes.
with the Hargrove client.
Yes.
I mean, clearly, he's nowhere near his office, and he's at the Holiday Inn
Yeah.
for what she knows 2 weeks in a row. So the evidence is undeniable. There's just nothing you can do about it.
No, absolutely not. The truth is better than any uncertainty.
Yeah,
You
so-
gotta use instant ID for
Absolutely, because
instances like
it gave her the clarity, it gave her the information she needed, and it was accurate and
Right.
fast.
Yeah.
And she did it all by herself, keeping her mouth shut. So, they're separated now. She filed maybe like 6 weeks later, and she told us that the hardest part wasn't finding out; it was the 3 months of not knowing. Because she remembers doing that whole thing for like 3 months and just being a little suspicious, a little, questioning, like, well, I wonder what, I wonder this, I wonder that. And
Right.
she just, again, it was that 3 months of being lied to. And that's the thing that really gets under
Yes.
people's skin. They just don't, being lied to.
Yeah.
You just made a fool of.
You can't believe that the person you're sharing your life with is actually doing something like this to you.
Yeah, exactly. Because usually there's one person who would never do it,
Right.
and can't understand why the other person would do it when
Yes.
they have what appears to be the perfect life.
Yes.
Like Sarah and David, But it's just too bad because every time, the truth is ugly and it's hard to take. It really is, So it's unfortunate, but these things happen. But it's a good thing that instantid.info exists because it gives people the ability to find out the truth without harming anybody.
Right.
Now, this lady, Sarah, just kept her mouth shut, went about doing her business and got the proof that she needed and just systematically and methodically caught him. Didn't raise her voice, didn't threaten anybody, no physical violence, no nothing. She just got the truth and then went on about her life, so good for her.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, she did the right thing. He did not.
Absolutely, that's
Yes.
right. So she has nothing to regret.
No, nothing.
Again, she could have gone to the hotel room and raised the stink, maybe
Yes.
busted the place up. But what's that
What
going
for?
to do? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
All you're going to do is just, it's very indignant. You're going to embarrass yourself. And be ashamed of your behavior,
Right.
later on that day or the next day, even if you are lucky enough to not go to jail for it.
Right.
It's just a silly. Becoming violent and confrontational is never the way to go.
Right.
You stay calm, collected, and in control like Sarah did, and you'll find out the truth, and you do it far more effectively, and then that person will be much more devastated than ever. And simply because you kept your cool, you remained calm,
Yeah.
and you did everything for yourself and nothing to harm them.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, so let's talk about this. What did Sarah do right here? So a few things. Number
Keep the
one-
cool to begin with,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she kept
and then
it
gather
cool.
her information.
Right. She got the information. That's the biggest mistake. The biggest mistake people make is they confront too soon.
Yes, they react.
Exactly. And, we even admitted here that if it was either myself or yourself, both of us would have reacted rather quickly. And, that's never the thing to do. The best thing to do is keep your mouth shut.
That's right.
And go about gathering your business, So those are the two things she did right. She gathered the information, and she kept her mouth shut. And she number three, she kept her cool most of all. So, I would have to say that, the GPS, where it answered her questions, but it also confirmed, her worst fear. But at least, she knows the truth.
So which are the signs that you think people should watch for when something like this is going on?
A break in the obvious behavior, like this guy David.
Like he did, yes.
Yeah, like this guy David. He obviously he had followed the same routine every single day, and and then all of a sudden he doesn't. It's a big red flag when someone breaks those patterns. So when someone here they are. The five things, I'll go through them quick. Number one is schedule changes, new meetings, new gym sessions, anything that's out of the normal of what they would normally do, anything that they would not normally do on a regular basis. Number two is phone secrecy. Someone changes their password, it's almost always bad.
Yes.
Otherwise, why would you change your password and not tell your spouse? It's just not going to happen. Three, appearance changes, losing weight, new haircut, maybe growing a beard, getting a tattoo, like my tattoo.
Yeah, but you have a good one.
Yeah,
It's my name on it.
that's right.
Good.
For those of you who don't know, that's my wife's name right there. So, okay. All right, so getting new tattoos would be a good one, anything like that. Number four, getting anybody who creates emotional distance. You're married for a period of time. You develop intuitively a natural connection with your spouse, and if you feel that beginning to wane, beginning to
shift somehow,
shift, or any kind of distance being created that wasn't there before, that's a very, very big indicator. And number five, of course, are the defensive reactions. As soon as you start bringing up anything that might get them in trouble, they're going to get defensive. They're going to say, well, why are you doing this again? You're the crazy one. Don't be blah, blah, blah. Gaslighting, manipulating, just overall being defensive. So, yeah, those are the top five things right there.
So you mentioned the five like you just did, and which ones are the most important ones that people have to look for? Are they 2, 3 more important ones?
If you're seeing three or more consistently, like for instance, I just mentioned five things. If I would say if I say you witnessed 2 or 3 of those that I just witnessed, or that I just mentioned rather, yeah, you have a problem.
Okay.
And people want to say, well, I do that and I don't cheat. Well, humans aren't mathematical equations. Of course, there are always going to be exceptions to the rule, but that's why I encourage people to listen to their gut. Pay attention to your gut. If you see these changes in someone's behavior, and combined with, as I said, the defensiveness, the emotional distance, the changing of the password, the changing of the schedule, their appearance, put it together, because your gut's not going to lie to you. It's not paranoia. It's just your gut protecting you, and that's what it's there for. So that's what I would encourage everyone to do.